Certainly looks like a suicide.
Yeah, uniform are convinced. Reckon they've got a point.
How come?
Well, he didn't string himself up. And I'm betting he didn't do that to his own face. Sarge?
Rob? And this is? Billy Fitzgerald, trainee detective constable. I've just been transferred from CID.
Acting Detective Inspector Vivian Cole.
Do me a favour. Find out who discovered the body and get their account, yeah?
So, definitely not a suicide?
No doubt about it. He's been murdered.
But why bother to make it look like he killed himself?
I hear you found the body. Can I get your name?
Amber.
Amber Saunders. Amber, can you tell me what happened?
Yeah, I was just cutting through the park and I caught sight of something in the trees and he was just hanging there and sorry.
You've had a terrible shock, baby.
ID?
No phone, no wallet, nothing.
He is covered in dried blood, but there's no blood around him, which means he wasn't killed here.
He's been dragged through the undergrowth and then strung up with this. Looks like a 4-metre tow rope to me.
I'll need your details. An address?
Yeah, I don't actually have an address. You can find me at the homeless shelter in Charing Cross.
What about a mobile number? What I really need is for you to come in and make a statement. Do you think you can manage that? Sometime this morning, maybe?
Sure.
Tire tracks.
Too wide for a car. Something like a transit van.
Right, let's prioritize CCTV and ANPR and the roads around here. Find the van, there's a good chance we'll find the killer.
Quite something to haul a dead body up and spend it from that branch. It's hard work on your own.
You think we're looking for two people?
It's a strong possibility.
You know, the staged suicide is absolute key. The killer is saying, look at me, look what I've done. Well, since we've got sod all to ID the victim, I better do a press appeal.
Thought you'd have heard.
What's he doing here?
Who's that?
Detective Inspector Bradford.
Isn't he on compassionate leave?
What do you want? You sure you're ready for this?
100%.
Detective Inspector, is it welcome back?
It is.
When did you decide?
Called the super yesterday.
Cheers. Trainee Detective Constable Billy Fitzgerald.
So,
Pleased to meet you, Billy. Right, Sergeant, what have we got?
Oh! You gave your heart attack.
Tom's not answering his phone.
Oh, could be snoring.
I don't know where he is. I think we should phone his mum or the police.
What's Tom gonna say when he turns up? He's gonna go mad.
I suppose.
Hey. It'll be all right.
I wish I had your confidence.
Thanks for holding the fort.
no problem. The missing persons inquiry, have they made any progress?
Not that they've told me.
And you, what do you think?
Well, I'm convinced she's alive.
Why wouldn't she call?
I don't know, maybe she's not in her right mind.
So you think she had some sort of breakdown? Does that mean you saw the signs before she went missing?
It means I haven't given up hope.
What do you think about the DI's wife?
I think she's dead.
Up.
Right, Rob, where are we at?
The victim was covered in cuts. The fact that none of these cuts appear to be defensive wounds, plus the redness we've seen on his wrists, indicate that he was bound at the wrists and then slashed repeatedly with a knife. Coroner suspects cause of death as heart attack rather than bleed out. So in other words, the guy was terrified.
The killer or killers, they wanted the body to be found. The staged suicide gives it a kind of theatrical flourish.
Killers.
Well, it's highly unlikely one person could have hauled the victim up on their own.
Right, let's just get back to basics, shall we? Any progress on an ID?
Not yet. All we've got is this very distinctive tattoo. My love will be yours always.
Somebody must be missing him.
The body of a man in his 20s was found early this morning. He was 5 feet 10 inches tall, short, blonde hair and blue eyes. He also had a distinctive tattoo in his left upper arm. If this description means anything to you, you think you might know this person, please contact the police immediately.
Yeah, police, please.
So who is he?
Tom Price, 24 years old. Runs his own tech startup. Something to do with bikes. His fiancée hasn't spoken to him since yesterday morning. He's the right height and colouring, and he's got a tattoo on his left upper arm.
His mother's an MP. Kirsten Price.
Do you want me to talk to her?
No. Go on and see the girlfriend. Take Billy with you. We need to be sure he's Kirsten Price's son before we talk to anyone else.
Boss.
This lad's an MP's son.
I know. It's a nightmare.
I'm Detective Sergeant Vivian Cole, and this is Trainee Detective Constable Billy Fitzgerald.
Can I ask, when did you last see Tom?
Yesterday morning, when we were both leaving for work, I'd stayed the night.
You don't live here?
Tom and I are engaged. I live in Chiswick with my parents.
Did you sleep here last night?
No, he'd arranged me a couple of old mates from uni.
Do you have contact details for Tom's mates?
Yeah, somewhere.
Sorry, this is ridiculous. I guarantee you, Tom is just sleeping it off on someone's sofa.
Does he make a habit of staying out all night?
No.
When was the last time you saw Tom?
Same as Olivia, yesterday morning.
Olivia, can you describe Tom's tattoo to me?
I can show you it.
Olivia, I'm so sorry, but I need to tell you that Tom's tattoo is identical to a tattoo on the body that was discovered this morning.
Sure, it's Tom.
We can't be sure until we've done forensic tests.
Let's make absolutely certain, hey? Before we do anything else.
Can we just stay here for a bit? Because Olivia's still in shock.
We need you both to tell us everything you can about Tom.
It's cool, I'm fine.
What do you reckon to the flatmate?
Really didn't want to come with us.
No, he didn't.
The tattoos match.
Right. Till I've spoken to the mother, I need this totally locked down.
Got you.
Inspector, can't imagine what's so urgent that you'd have me called out of committee.
The body of a young man was found early this morning. We've reason to believe it was your son, Tom.
Reason to believe?
We're waiting for a DNA match to be absolutely sure.
But you're sure enough to come here and tell me that my son is dead?
Yes.
How did it happen?
The investigation's at a very early stage. There are limits to what I can discuss.
What I mean, Inspector, is did Tom take his own life?
No. No, he didn't. Why'd you ask that?
When Tom was 12 years old, his father hanged himself. Tom came home from school and found his dad hanging
From a tree in the back garden.
I'm sorry I didn't know. We haven't had time to do background checks. Your son didn't kill himself.
So he was murdered.
Tom Price's father killed himself. Tom found him hanging from a tree in the back garden when he was 12.
So that gives us a strong indication that the killer knew Tom, knew his background.
And that tells us what? This precise moment.
Well, it helps us build a profile of the person or persons that we're looking for.
Let's just stick to the nuts and bolts, shall we? What about tracing the van?
Uniformed patrol reported seeing a man driving a white van near the scene in the early hours. He was using his phone. They signaled for him to hang up. He complied, so they drove away.
Could be our killer.
With any luck, we'll find the van on CCTV.
Tom's phone?
No sign of it. But his mobile provider is sending us over his data.
Right. I'll be downstairs doing the emotional appeal with the mother.
How did she take the news?
Stoic, so far. But I have a feeling that won't last.
It'll take a while to sink in. The fact that somebody deliberately staged her son's suicide.
I decided to spare her that detail. For now.
Was that wise? She's gonna find out.
Let her get used to losing her son first, before we fill her in on the full horror.
That woman has a right to know.
Tom Price's uni mate, Martin Tanner, hasn't heard from them in weeks.
But Tom goes out with Martin all the time. They saw each other last Saturday.
Not according to Martin. How's Tom's state of mind been recently?
Fine. A bit stressed out running his own company and a bit wound up about the wedding. Kind of distant, but fine. Why would he lie to me?
So you last saw him yesterday morning when he was leaving for work?
Yeah. I had the day off, so I didn't go into the office.
So what did you do?
Mooched around the flat
All day?
and all night.
So you work for Tom, yeah?
I work with Tom. The act was my idea.
But it's Tom's company.
He's the one with the trust fund.
If anyone has any information that could help this investigation, please contact the incident room as soon as possible.
Tom's, bright, popular. I can't imagine why anyone would do this to him. As his mother, I'm asking that if anyone has any information to please come forward.
Thank you all very much.
Doesn't matter who I am, they're not telling the truth. He was hanging from a tree.
Can I see him?
I can arrange that through the coroner's office, of course. But I need to warn you that your son has been severely disfigured. You need to think about what your last memory will be. Sorry. Mrs. Price, you're a public figure. Have you been targeted on social media lately?
No more than any other female MP.
What about in person?
No, nothing I can think of.
You said your son came to see you yesterday at the office. Was it just a social call?
He just turned up out of the blue.
Did he make a habit of doing that?
£700 went missing from petty cash.
And you think your son took it?
I can't be sure, but there was something wrong with him. I know there was.
Tom's been acting weird for the last couple of months. He's gone from workaholic to like, barely turning up at the office. I think he's been cheating on Olivia.
You with?
I don't know, but I've heard him lying to her about where he's going, like who he's seeing. But can I go? So I've told you everything I know, and I should really talk to the people at work.
I spoke to Tom's PA. He told her he'd sacked Jamie.
When did you tell her that?
Yesterday morning.
Interesting. No, he is really keen to get out of here.
What do you want to do?
Let's find out what he's playing at.
What a surprise. He's come straight home. What you said, Sarge, about the DI's wife being dead.
No, ignore me. I don't know anything.
That didn't take long.
In a hurry, Jamie.
I thought you were going to the office.
Yeah, I'm on my way there now.
I'm going to caution you, Jamie, so that I can search you.
What?
Jamie Bentham, I'm arresting you on suspicion of the murder of Tom Price.
This is mental.
You do not have to say anything.
Get after him! Right, get onto Pulsar. Let's search his flat. Come on.
Tell us again what you did last night.
Stayed in, watched telly.
We're looking at your phone, local CCTV. If you left the flat, we'll find out.
I went to the pub
On your own?
with Tom.
And?
And we had a drink.
We're going to test the cash and the envelope for DNA. But we found a match to Tom. Did you steal the money from Tom?
He sacked me. Told me I had to find somewhere else to live.
Why?
I don't know, search me. Like, he's been acting weird lately.
What was he doing with 700 quid in cash?
I don't know. Like, look, we're in the pub. He's gone to the loo. I've seen the envelope sticking out his jacket, so I've had a look, seen the cash, and just stuffed it down my jeans. Like, I figured he owed me. Like, the act was my idea.
What happened next?
He come back. He went crazy. Started accusing me of taking it.
Which you denied.
He was half cut. He didn't know if he was coming or going.
Okay, so you're in the pub, you had a fight. What happened next?
He left.
What, do you know where he went?
No. He got in a white van. And he drove off.
Whose van?
Not a clue.
What, have you seen him get into it before?
No.
What make was it?
I don't know, like, transit.
Okay, Jamie, this is really important. Did you see who was driving the van?
No, sorry.
Why did Tom sack Jamie?
They fell out.
Over what? Over money?
The night before last, Tom was out, and I ended up drinking with Jamie. And he told me that Tom had been seeing someone else. they'd had a party and I hadn't been there. And Jamie said Tom had been in his bedroom with some slapper. When he told me, I was so hurt, so angry, and just so drunk. I ended up in bed with Jamie. Tom came home and he caught us and he went crazy. He told Jamie that he was sacked and he told him he had to move out.
What happened then?
I slept in the spare room and in the morning Tom and I had a talk.
Was he still angry?
No. He was sweet. He told me it was true that he'd had a girl in his room, but he swore they didn't sleep together. He said his head had been all over the place and that he was going to sort things out and get us back on track.
What did he mean by that?
I wish I knew.
Excuse me a second.
Come on, you're on duty. I need to see the detective inspector right now.
I'm Detective Sergeant Vivian Cole. Can I help?
Can you explain this? Why would anyone do that? It's so cruel. It's sick. Your son was killed somewhere else. What we found this morning was window dressing.
Detective Sergeant, word.
Just give us a moment.
I told you I would speak with Kirsten Price when I judged the moment was right. This is just like you, Vivian. You always know better than everyone else.
Sir, you got it wrong. The Sarge didn't tell Mrs. Price about the fake suicide. It's on the news, it's all over the internet.
I owe you an apology.
I would never go behind your back.
You don't think I should be here, do you?
Well, since you asked, no. Not while you don't know where your wife is. Go home, look after your daughter.
Have you got any idea how hard this is? Waiting, day after day, hearing nothing. I need to be back at work. Otherwise, I'm going to go mad.
Well, this job isn't therapy. You still have a duty to the public.
Thank you, Sergeant. That'll be all.
Well done for talking Kirsten Price down off a ledge.
All in a day's work. Any progress?
Yeah, the search team have found cocaine, some pills, and what they think is a small amount of crystal meth in Tom's bedroom.
Well, well, well.
The forensic pathologist found cocaine in both his nostrils.
So what do we reckon? Using and dealing?
Kirsten Price suspects Tom stole £700 from her office yesterday.
Well, his overdraft is huge and his credit cards are maxed out.
Jamie reckons Tom's not been turning up for work, lying about where he's been going.
That's classic junkie behavior.
According to his fiancée, Tom said he was going to sort everything out, so maybe he stole the cash to pay off his drug debts. Did Tom use drugs?
Of course not.
We found drugs hidden in his bedroom and clear evidence that he used them in the hours before his death.
I mean, Tom could be moody, but I never...
Do you take drugs, Olivia?
Absolutely not.
Do you recognise this bag?
No.
We found it under the sofa at Tom's flat. Are you sure it isn't yours?
Totally.
The bag contained traces of a white powder, probably cocaine. We're having it tested.
Well, go right ahead. I mean, like I said, Tom and Jamie had a party. Maybe somebody left it behind.
What do you think Tom had all that cash for?
I don't know.
We're pretty sure that Tom was going to pay off his drug debts. But he couldn't pay them, could he?
Because I took the cash. Is it my fault Tom's dead?
You come to apologize?
I was trying to spare you. I need to ask, do you know if your son used drugs?
I had my suspicions. I even asked him, but he denied it. Is that why he stole the cash? To buy drugs?
We think he was trying to pay off his debts, get himself clean.
Why didn't he just tell me he needed the money?
Because he didn't want you to know he had a problem. Sometimes the people closest to us are crying out for help. We can't see it.
It's been bothering me all day. You're that policeman. The one whose wife is missing. So, we have something in common.
Sarah isn't dead.
You know that for a fact.
She's missing. The possibility that we might find her. It's all I've got.
I envy you that.
We found the van.
Finally.
Yeah, CCTV near the pub gave us an index.
And then I've just picked it up near Whitechapel.
You coming?
Get him out of there! Quick!
Control? This is DS Cole. We need an ambulance. Urgent assistance. Unconscious male.
The suicide note says he killed Tom Price.
Let's pray he pulls through so we can do him for murder.
Who is he?
Perry Evans, ex-army, nightclub doorman. Convicted in 2015, served 6 months for dealing Class A drugs.
So Tom must have been intending to pay Evans off.
Can't imagine a guy like that would be happy if Tom turned up empty-handed.
I don't buy it.
Why not?
Harry Evans is a petty criminal. He's a low-level drug dealer and hired muscle. This murder is complex. It's creative, vindictive. I mean, why would someone like Perry Evans go to all that trouble over a 700 quid drug debt? Doesn't compute.
Any news?
According to the doctors, it's touch and go.
I found Tom's number in Perry's phone. They spoke 3 times yesterday. The last time was at 8:20 in the evening.
Setting up a meet outside the pub, presumably.
But there's something else. Perry was on the phone 10 minutes before we found him, and he was calling the same number when uniformed patrol spotted him in the early hours.
Who was he talking to?
Unregistered mobile. Yep. Great. Yeah, I'll be right there. The girl who found the body has finally turned up to make a statement.
Will I have to go to court? What if the killer targets me?
We've got someone in custody.
You've caught him already?
Take it from me, you're not in any danger.
It's easy for you to say. You've got a nice, safe place to live.
Where are you going to sleep tonight? How much do you need?
No, I can
20 quid?
make it 40.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'll pay you back. No, I will. Only because it gives me a chance to see you again.
Cheers, mate. Shift yourself.
What's going on?
Found an overlapping cell site and Perry's phone and Tom's phone. They were both at some old railway arch in Clapham last night around 10 o'clock.
Think it's a murder site?
I put money on it.
Is that blood?
I reckon so.
Okay, good work. Rob's found the murder scene.
I'll stay here in case Perry wakes up.
Okay.
There's blood on the floor as well as the walls.
We're pretty sure he was tied to that chair.
Any proof that Perry Evans was here?
Not yet.
Right. Fingers crossed for CCTV then.
He wants to talk to me. Hello, Perry. What you said in your note about Tom Price, you said you killed him. Is it true? Is it?
I was lying.
Shocko have found significant blood evidence in Perry Evans's van. It's been fast-tracked to the lab to see if it's Tom's. If it is, then...
And we've got our man. David Bradford? I'm sorry to hear that. Yes, it is a very serious breach of protocol. Yeah, I'll be sure to speak to her when she gets back. Thank you for letting me know. The hospital couldn't have been clearer. No contact with the suspect until they gave the go-ahead.
But he beckoned me into him. I just took the opportunity to get his dying declaration.
Did you read him his rights?
But I didn't get time.
And anything he said is inadmissible.
Well, it's of interest, though. We can't just exclude it from the inquiry. Evans told me that he did not kill Tom Price.
Rob, can you come in and talk us through the evidence against Perry Evans, please?
We have CCTV of Perry Evans' van going to and from the railway arch. In this still, you can see clearly that Evans is the driver and Tom Price is in the passenger seat.
Being driven to his death.
According to the lab, blood evidence in the van matches Tom Price.
Well, I'm not saying that Evans isn't involved, but he's a foot soldier. He's not the ringleader.
That is pure speculation.
Okay, what about the unregistered mobile he keeps calling? Who does that belong to?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, and according to Rob, Evans would have struggled to string the dead weight of Tom Price's body up that tree.
I said it would be hard. I didn't say it'd be impossible. Look, how come you're so certain that Evans didn't do this?
Because he told me at the hospital.
What, under caution?
No.
That's right.
You were deliberately undermining me.
You're undermining yourself.
Lab have matched Perry Evans' DNA to DNA found on Tom Price's body.
I just spoke to the hospital. The consultant's opinion is that Evans will pull through.
Let's prepare a file for the CPS. Recommend they charge Perry Evans with murder.
He's making a mistake. At the very least, Harry Evans has an accomplice.
It's a compelling theory, Sarge, but what you don't have is any actual evidence. P.T. Brady?
Why won't the detective inspector listen to you?
Ugh, this is all about his wife. You know, the truth is, he made her life a misery.
I've got to show you something. What should I do?
Leave it with me. I'll tell the detective inspector when the time is right.
I need to know who this man is and why he killed Tom.
His name's Perry Evans. He's 31, ex-army. Tom owed him money for drugs.
He murdered him over a drugs debt.
That's how it's looking.
Why hang Tom's body from a tree?
We haven't had a chance to talk to Evans yet. He's in intensive care. He was attempting to kill himself when we found him. When he's fit, he'll be tried and punished for what he's done.
Right, we're off to the pub. Double celebration. Case closed, and the detective inspector back where he belongs. No excuses?
Yeah, I'll be over in a bit. I just got something I need to take care of.
So how was the first day?
Eventful. Sarge is amazing.
Yeah, she's a great detective. Watch your step. The only person Vivian cares about is herself.
I know I've been critical of the police in the past, but they've done a first-class job in tracking down my son's killer.
Hope you're coming for a drink. First round's on me.
There's something you need to see first.
What's this?
Do you recognize it?
Looks vaguely familiar.
It was found under the sofa in Tom Price's flat.
So we've got a new lead.
Yeah, but not in the Price case. DNA evidence taken from inside the bag leads us to believe that it belonged to your wife. It's Sarah's bag. The question is, how did it end up at Tom Price's flat?
my friend. He's injured. He needs an ambulance.
7,
He can't be dead. I'm going to tell Helen. This was his stag night.
This is nice and early.
Hope we didn't disturb your beauty sleep, Sarge.
So are we sure this is really for us? Sure he did just fall over and bang his head drunk?
I think you better take a look.
Yeah, he didn't get that falling over.
Struck across the temple repeatedly, I'd say.
First, we thought maybe it was a robbery gone wrong, but he's still got his wallet and his phone.
So who is he?
Mitchell McDonald. Last night was his stag do.
Well, I hope he hasn't paid for the wedding reception. Witnesses?
One, Mr. Jacob Holt. He tried to revive the victim, but, well, looks like it was too late. This is Jacob Holt.
I'm Detective Sergeant Vivian Cole. Are you a friend of the deceased?
Not exactly. He was engaged to my ex-wife.
And you were on the stag night?
Yeah, to look after my son, Will. He's the best man. He's only 18.
And where was Will when you found Mitchell in the alleyway?
He'd gone home already.
Where's home?
Lived with my ex-wife, Helen.
Mr. Holt's given me the address.
I've been thinking. I'm sure there were two men at the end of the alley when I came out of the bar.
Can you describe them?
Young, tall, wearing hoodies.
Okay, well, if you can come with me, we need your clothes for evidence.
You come across a Detective Inspector David Bradford.
He's my boss.
Does that mean he'll be in charge of the investigation?
He will be, yeah. Why, do you know him?
Only through his wife. I'm a social worker like Sarah. Have they worked out what happened there yet?
No, the inquiry's still ongoing.
Helen Holt?
Yes?
I'm Detective Sergeant Vivian Cole, and this is Trainee Detective Constable Billy Fitzgerald. Can we come in?
Gemma, do you want to pop outside and play for a bit? What's happened?
I'm so sorry to tell you this, but your fiancé, Mitchell McDonald, was attacked outside a bar in Soho early this morning.
What do you mean attacked? Who attacked him?
Mrs. Holt. Mitchell is dead.
He can't be dead. We're getting married.
A few of us went for a pizza in Berwick Street and then on to the bar.
Did all of you go to the bar?
No, just me, Mitchell and Will.
So why did Mitchell ask Will to be his best man?
He moved down from Scotland a few months ago, and I suppose he didn't have many friends in London. Helen, my ex-wife, Will being best man was her brilliant idea.
And you didn't approve of that?
It's too much for an 18-year-old. Helen can't see that. She's too busy being in love.
I fell for Mitchell the first time I met him.
Love at first sight.
I went to see my ex-husband, Jacob, at his office. He was running late, as usual, so I got chatting to Mitchell. He was on the front desk. He was so sweet, sympathetic, real listener.
He'd just been through a really bad breakup, and so had I. So before we knew it, we were telling each other our life stories.
2 weeks later, he moved in with her. And my kids.
Then you weren't over the moon about that either.
Just seemed too fast. Helen hadn't even got over the last one moving out.
The last one?
The yoga teacher, Brandon.
This is Brandon's baby. Not that he cares. He's in San Francisco with some bimbo. Mitchell said, your baby needs a father. And I need you. That's why I'm asking you to marry me. Isn't that romantic?
It's lovely. Mrs. Holt, can you think of anyone who might want to harm Mitchell?
Absolutely not. He's the gentlest, most caring man I ever met.
Mitchell wasn't the saint Helen thinks he was.
Go on.
Turns out, after a few drinks, mild-mannered Mitchell got aggressive. He nearly started a fight with 2 men while we were queuing to get in the bar.
What about?
I don't know. I was on the phone to my girlfriend.
So, is it possible that the men that were in the queue are the same men you saw near the murder scene?
It's possible. I can't be sure. I didn't get a good look at them.
But Will might have done.
Mrs. Holt, can we speak to your son?
Will, he's not here.
Sorry?
Well, I assume they'd all crashed to his dad's.
Just let me know if he turns up. That was my girlfriend. Will's not at my place. Where is he?
Great. Cheers, thank you.
Right, where are we at?
Will Holt didn't go home last night. He didn't go to his dad's flat and his phone is switched off.
According to his dad, he's been going off the rails recently. Flunked his exams, walked out of school. He's even been in trouble with the local police.
What for?
Caution for shoplifting.
So he's missing.
Probably just sleeping off a hangover at a mate's. I know what I was like when I was 18.
His future stepfather was the victim of a targeted attack. That makes this boy a high-risk missing person in my book. Rob, put a trace on his phone and circulate his details. I want a full briefing in 10 minutes.
Boss?
Viv?
It's Vivian.
Is he all right?
Oh, apart from the fact that his wife's been missing for 3 months. Yeah, I'm sure he's on top of the world.
Vivian reckons he's refusing to face up to the fact that his wife is dead.
Oh, does she now?
I'm so sorry.
Took me ages to find someone to sit with Gemma.
I hear you're friends with this Jacob Holt. Anything I should know?
Barely know the man. He worked with my wife a few years back. We socialized once or twice.
Okay, got it. Thanks for coming in.
David, nice to see you. Sorry to hear about Sarah.
Hello, Mrs. Holt. I'm Detective Inspector David Bradford.
You found Will?
We have officers looking for him as we speak.
And meanwhile, Detective Sergeant Cole and her team are fully focused on finding her fiancé's killer and bringing them to justice.
Thanks, David.
Very sorry for your loss. The sergeant will answer any questions you might have.
If you people can't find his wife, how the hell are you going to find my son?
Mitchell McDonald, 41 years old, moved to London from Edinburgh 6 months ago. He's been doing temporary office work ever since.
His fiancée says he moved down here when his marriage broke up.
Now, Mitchell was attacked around 3 a.m. this morning. Now, the pathologist reckons he was punched in the face first and then beaten repeatedly over the head with a hard object, almost certainly a bottle.
There was a whole bin full of bottles. We've had to confiscate the whole thing.
What about victimology? Who was this guy?
No criminal record, nothing on the PNC. He's got an ex-wife and daughter in Edinburgh, but I spoke to police Scotland and the wife isn't answering her phone or the front door. One thing sticks out. I checked out Mitchell MacDonald on open source. Up in Scotland, he was deputy head teacher of a posh academy. So why was he working as an office temp down here?
Mitchell was the office manager and an insurance broker in Edinburgh. He had to start again in London. That's why he was doing temp work.
Mitchell MacDonald was a deputy head teacher.
Sorry, I think you've got your facts mixed up.
Mitchell was deputy head of Moray Bank Academy in Edinburgh until he resigned at the end of last year.
Why didn't you tell me the truth?
You okay, boss?
Sure.
Any news from the missing persons team yet?
They've absolutely no idea why Sarah's handbag was left at that party. She's 20 years older than those kids. What would she be doing there? Have you found Will Holt yet?
Not yet, no. But there's some CCTV footage that I think you should take a look at. So, this is the queue outside the bar.
2 men in hoodies.
Just like Jacob described. Big guy on the left. He's got a gym logo on the back of his hoodie. With muscles like that, I reckon he's a regular.
Okay, thanks for that. Will Holt called her Tamsin MacDonald 3 times yesterday. She's the victim's daughter, and she's studying in London.
Has anyone told her that her dad's dead yet?
No, she's got a part-time job at a hotel cafe. I'll head over there now.
And how did you get on with Mr. Muscles?
Danny Williams and his boyfriend intervened because Mitchell was giving Will a hard time. They only stayed for 1 drink and then they went on to a club. And that's where they were at the time of the murder.
So they can't be the 2 men that Jacob Holt saw when he found the victim in the alleyway?
No.
It's a really big coincidence.
What is?
Well, that Jacob Holt saw 2 men in the alley that matched the description of the guys in the queue.
Yeah, he did say he wasn't sure, though, to be fair.
And now we're looking, what, for 2 different men, also tall, also wearing hoodies?
What's your point?
Well, how reliable a witness is Jacob Holt?
He's a social worker. Like Sarah was. Like Sarah is.
Tamsin MacDonald?
Yeah?
I'm trainee Detective Constable Billy Fitzgerald. I'm so sorry to tell you this, but I've got some bad news.
I hear you think the detective inspector's wife's dead.
Well, don't you? Her car was found abandoned. She hasn't used her phone or any of her cards.
All right, so how do you explain the fact that we found her handbag, then?
I can't. But you know as well as I do, that means nothing. The way Sarah was talking...
Well, what? You spoke to her before she went missing?
We went for a drink.
Why?
I don't really know. She asked me. She seemed really down.
Have you told the missing persons inquiry about this?
Yeah.
What, and the detective inspector?
So somebody killed him.
Why did your dad move out?
That's private. Family business.
We're investigating his murder. Why did he lie about being a teacher?
I don't know. I didn't even know my dad was in London till that lad rang me yesterday.
Will Holt?
He invited me to this stupid wedding. I told him I wasn't interested.
We've been trying to get hold of your mum.
You can leave that to me. I'll tell her what's happened. Mum, pack up, it's me. Good news. He's dead.
Sarah called me and asked to meet. I mean, I didn't feel that I could say no.
Oh, I bet you didn't. So what did my wife want to talk about?
She mentioned that your marriage was in trouble.
Why didn't you tell me this before?
Because I didn't feel it could help.
It's an indication of her state of mind.
And that's why I spoke to the missing persons inquiry.
Which explains why they asked me so many questions about my marriage, my sex life. It's all down to you.
I'm not apologizing.
No. Why change the habit of a lifetime? So why come clean now?
Because we're a team. And now you're back at work. I don't want to keep any secrets from you.
The thing is, Vivian, you're not a team player, are you?
This is Madison Street, between the Strand and the Embankment at 3:27 a.m. Now, here we can see Will Holt and what appears to be blood on his hands and clothes.
So Will could have attacked Mitchell McDonald. His father was lying.
Where are you going?
What, to challenge him?
No, you're not. I want that kid found. I'll speak to Jacob Holt.
Oh, boys network strikes again.
Oh, come on, that's not fair.
Yeah, isn't it?
When did Will leave the bar?
I'm not sure exactly. About 15 minutes before I found Mitchell in the alley.
And which exit did he use?
I don't know. The place was packed.
Where do you think Will is now, Jacob?
What's all this about? If you've found something, you've got to tell me. His mother's beside herself.
We came across some CCTV of Will. About half an hour after you found Mitchell dead. He had blood on his hands and clothing.
You think that means Will attacked Mitchell?
Well, what would you think? In my place?
Well, that there's 100 ways an 18-year-old boy can injure himself or get injured in central London on a Saturday night?
You were right. Jacob is lying.
To protect his son?
Why else?
This is just work. I'll take it outside.
Dad.
Where have you been?
How's Mitchell?
He's dead.
The tech team had just called. Will Holt's turned his phone on. He's somewhere in the South Bank and he's just called his dad.
Where's Jacob?
He's taking a call.
Jacob! Stop!
You sure?
Yeah, there was blood everywhere.
I'm gonna face my mum.
Will Holt, I'm arresting you on suspicion of murder.
I did it. I killed him. I killed him because he was a paedophile.
It's all right. It's all right.
Coming in. Will Holt, I'm arresting you for the murder of Mitchell.
You, of all people, should know to leave it to the police.
Will called me. My first instinct was to go to him.
Did you lie to us? About when Will left the bar?
I was trying to protect my son. Surely you must understand that.
It doesn't matter what I do or don't understand. We've broken the law.
Can't you just...
What? Turn a blind eye? No.
I turned a blind eye for you when you were having it away with one of Sarah's colleagues.
So what are you gonna do? Tell my wife? Jacob Holt, I'm arresting you on suspicion of perverting the course of justice.
So what do you reckon? To Mitchell being a paedophile?
Certainly a motive for murder.
It's Will's mother I feel sorry for. She's got a 10-year-old daughter and a baby on the way.
MacDonald being a sex offender would explain a lot.
Yeah, like why he gave up deputy head teacher position to do temp work.
And why his daughter was so cagey with me. I really feel like I failed with her. I'll go back and talk to her again.
No, you won't. Helen Holt's babysitter needs to be somewhere else. I want you to drive Helen home. Keep an eye on her. Rob, you have a crack at MacDonald's daughter. We need to know what happened in Scotland.
Are you going to let me interview Will Holt?
Why wouldn't I?
Because you're angry with me?
I'm angry with myself. Do you really not know why my wife asked to talk to you?
She wanted to suss me out. She wanted to know if you and I were having an affair.
Which tells you all you need to know about my marriage.
You know, finding Sarah's handbag could be a hopeful sign. No, this job makes you cynical. It's perfectly possible that Sarah was at that party. Just like it's perfectly possible that she's alive.
We'll interview Will together. You can lead.
Mum was on at me to pull my finger out. As best man, I thought I'd surprise him by inviting Mitchell's daughter to the wedding.
How did you find her?
I knew her name was Tamsin. I found her on social media. When I told her my mum was marrying her dad, she went crazy.
What did she say?
I had to stop the wedding. She reckoned that her dad was only marrying my mum to get to my little sister.
Why did she think that?
Because he had done it before. Groomed some kid in Edinburgh and then raped her.
So then what happened?
I went home, told Mitchell he had to finish with my mum and get out.
And what was Mitchell's response to this?
He told me Tamsin was lying.
Did you believe him?
Of course not.
Well, why didn't you tell your mum what Tamsin had said?
I couldn't.
Why not?
I just couldn't.
Billy, it's me. Tamsin MacDonald's done a disappearing act. You got any idea where she might have gone?
Not a clue. Sorry.
All right, cheers.
I got really drunk. When Mitchell went out for a smoke, I followed him. Told him there was no way he was marrying my mum. He just laughed. So I punched him.
So what did he do when you punched him?
He fell backwards.
And then?
picked up a bottle and hit him over the head.
How many times did you hit him?
I don't know.
You must know how many times you hit him.
I can't remember exactly. Like I said, I was drunk, really drunk.
You happy with that?
No, absolutely not. Take him back to the scene of the crime. Walk him through it.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Police Scotland are checking if any complaints were ever made against Mitchell McDonald.
So we've only got Will Holt's word for it that Mitchell McDonald was a paedophile.
At the moment.
Get hold of his laptop. I reckon we should take a look at his browsing history.
Yeah, right. Okay, thanks, bye.
Something happened to Will.
Will's been arrested, and I need to tell you I have authority to search these premises.
Why?
Will's made certain allegations against Mitchell McDonald.
What's he said?
Will claims that he spoke to Mitchell's daughter and that she told him that Mitchell was a paedophile. That's why his marriage fell apart. Why he left his job and came down here.
What if you take the ground floor?
Mitchell went out through there.
Yeah, and where was your dad?
I'm not sure. In the loo.
Okay.
Mitchell was standing over there by some bins, having a cigarette.
Go on.
I went over, pushed him.
And then?
Turned around and I punched him in the face.
Rob, Billy, there's something you should see. It's a spy cam.
In a 10-year-old girl's bedroom.
How many times did you hit Mitchell in the head with a bottle?
I've told you, I don't know.
Well, go on, indulge me. Just pick a number, just twice, 5 times, 6. You really don't know, do you?
Look, I've told you what happened. Can't you just charge me?
Why didn't you tell your parents what Mitchell's daughter said? And why did you go on a stag night with a paedophile?
To tech team have retrieved a number of videos from Mitchell McDonald's phone. These have been forwarded onto another email account and then deleted. Now, this video shows Will Holt naked. It's clear that the cameraman is Mitchell McDonald.
You'd better let Vivian know.
Mitchell showed me porn. Mitchell worked out that I'm gay.
Your parents don't know.
My mum does. Please don't show the video to my dad, please.
I don't see any reason why we should have to do that. So what happened yesterday?
After I spoke to Tamsin, I told Mitchell he had to get away from my mum and my sister. He threatened he'd show my dad the video.
Why didn't you tell your mum?
There wasn't time. The taxi was waiting outside to take us to Soho.
Will Holt didn't kill Mitch McDonald.
So how do you explain Mitchell's blood on his hands and clothing?
Okay, Will's knuckles are grazed, so the bit about punching him is true. But the pathologist report says that whoever beat Mitch McDonald to death would have fine blood spray all over their clothes, and Will doesn't. I've checked.
Well, if Will Holt didn't kill Mitchell McDonald, who did?
Jacob Holt.
How'd you work that one out?
His unauthorized trip to the South Bank. Why was he so desperate to speak to his son? At first, I thought he went to plant the story that Mitchell McDonald was a paedophile.
But Mitchell McDonald was a paedophile. We found the purchase of the spy cam and his bank records. He was the one who was spying on Gemma.
So maybe Jacob went to the South Bank for another reason. Maybe to persuade Will that he killed Mitchell McDonald.
I just don't buy it. I mean, what sort of dad would ask their son to carry the cam for murder?
You're a parent. Do you believe any father would do that?
I find it very hard to believe. Is Billy still with Helen Holt?
Gemma's playing quite happily, blissfully unaware.
Helen, do you mind if I ask you something personal? It's just it might help Will.
Anything?
Is Jacob Will's father?
Will's father was this guy I met at my aerobics class. It was just a fling. I never lied to Jacob.
How did he react?
Well, at first he was angry, furious. But then we talked it over and agreed to give our marriage another go. And a few years later, Gemma came along.
And she's?
Jacob's. Oh, yeah, absolutely. He adores her.
And he agreed to bring up Will as his own?
Will doesn't have a clue that Jacob isn't his birth father. He worships him.
And Jacob? How does he feel about Will?
Well, let's just say it's been a struggle.
Jacob Holt, I am arresting you on suspicion of the murder of Mitchell McDonald.
Have you lost your mind?
You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defense if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say will be used in evidence against you. Do you understand?
I'm sorry I lied about when Will left the bar, but I didn't kill Mitchell McDonald. The truth is, when I came outside, I found Will standing over Mitchell. Blood everywhere. When Will explained to me why he'd done it, Mitchell was a paedophile. I told him to run.
You're looking after your son.
Exactly.
Except he isn't your son, is he?
Which might be why you're prepared to throw him under the bus.
What do you mean he isn't my son?
No, we spoke to Helen. And we've got your DNA, his. Do you want us to do a paternity test?
So you come out into the alley. Will's standing over Mitchell. Presumably, Will tells you he's hit him because he's after your daughter.
Is that when you ordered Will to run away? I'm sure he didn't need telling twice.
Leaves you face to face with the paedophile.
And here he is, with his head bashed in. That's his blood and brain matter.
DS Cole, do we know yet if Mitchell McDonald molested Gemma? Or was he just watching her get undressed on the spy cam he rigged up in her bedroom?
Oh, we're still waiting for a specialist officer to interview Gemma. It's a really delicate process. And you're a social worker. You're aware of...
Rigged a spy cam up in Gemma's bedroom.
Didn't you know?
The bottle used to murder Mitch McDonald would be covered in his DNA, blood, and brain matter.
As well as the fingerprints and DNA of his killer.
Of course, we took yours for elimination purposes earlier today, so thank you for that.
And then there's the blood on your clothing.
I tried to revive him.
We know. We also know that whoever hit Mitch McDonald over the head with a bottle would have microscopic blood spray on their clothes. It's all over your shirt.
Thought that pervert anywhere near my daughter.
Are you admitting that you murdered Mitch McDonald?
Couldn't stand that man. From the moment I set eyes on him, and I had to sit there all night long while he went on and on about my wife and my daughter. The thought of him even touching Jim. When Will told me what he was, I just lost it.
I don't know what's worse. Killing a man or expecting your son to carry the can.
He's not my son. What's a couple of years inside to him? He's got nothing to lose. Me? I've got everything to lose.
You had a blackout.
I woke up with blood on my hands. When Dad told me I killed Mitchell, why did he do that? Why did he lie?
I think you better talk to your mum about that.
So you just took any old bottle into an interview? Talk about audacious policing.
It was worth a punt.
Yeah, but testing every bottle, that would take months.
Lucky we've got his confession, then.
Oh, have you spoken to Police Scotland?
Yeah, apparently there was a complaint of rape. The school managed to persuade the victim's parents to drop it on the condition that Mitchell McDonald resigned from teaching.
Sure she knows what she's talking about?
She's a trained member of our sexual offences investigation team. If she's satisfied Mitch McDonald didn't physically abuse Gemma, then yeah, I'd believe her. Besides, look at her. Does she look traumatised to you?
I just had Kirsten Price on the phone.
The MP?
When we found her son Tom's body, was he wearing a watch?
Oh, definitely not, no. Didn't find one in his possessions either, why?
Apparently she gave him a gold watch for his 21st, engraved. She really wants it back.
Well, you know what Vivian would say.
What?
The killer probably took it as a trophy.
Hello? I've got the money I owe you. 40 quid. Thanks. Cheers. Seems you thought you'd never get it back, why don't you use it to buy me a drink?
I've got a lot on.
Okay. I'll be at the pub around the corner if you change your mind.
What has the CPS said about Will?
They're charging him with assault. If he testifies against his dad, then that will count in his favour. In the meantime, we can bail him.
That's good. His mum's gonna need him. You guys up for a drink?
No, not tonight.
Yeah, me neither. So, I'm not a team player.
Apart from what you want to be.
You gotta admit, I'm a great detective. Oh, a serious bag. Are you sure that the Misper team are following it up properly?
Well, they've interviewed everyone at the party, and they're trawling through CCTV, so hopefully they'll spot someone carrying it.
Well, if you ever want a great detective...
I'll know who to call. Thanks. Viv.
He claimed he found the body, but he was the killer.
I really messed up today.
No, that's rubbish. You're brilliant. Clever. Good looking. But you got someone real special at home.
I am very, very single.
I suppose you'd go out with me then. What with you being a cop and me being a witness?
No, absolutely not.
मुके जगराते रातां दे जगराते रातां दे जन जातियां मार के तकदा जन जातियां मार के तकदा मारे चंपका कज लवे अखदा मुक गया छुट्टियां रंग करे दिन मुलाकातां दे टुर गया माया मुके जगराते रातां दे टुर गया माया मुके जगराते रातां दे जदू रल बेना याद आसी ओ जदू रल बेना याद आसी मुक गया छुट्टियां लंघ गए दिन मुलाकातां दे टुर गया माया मुके जगराते रातां दे मुक गया छुट्टियां लंघ गए दिन मुलाकातां दे टुर गया माया मुके जगराते रातां दे सारी रात गुजारिए रोके सारी रात गुजारिए रोके नैना नल हंजुआ नल कपड़े धोके मुक गया छुट्टियां लंघ गए दिन मुलाकातां दे टुर गया माया मुके जगराते रातां दे मुक गया छुट्टियां लंघ गए दिन मुलाकातां दे टुर गया माया मुके जगराते रातां दे टुर गया माया वे मुके जगराते रातां दे टुर गया माया मुके जगराते रातां दे हो छुट्टियां लंघ गए दिन मुलाकातां दे टुर गया माया मुके जगराते रातां दे मुक गया छुट्टियां लंघ गए दिन मुलाकातां दे टुर गया माया मुके जगराते रातां दे टुर गया माया वे मुके जगराते रातां दे